house is Mordecai. Mordecai was deciding that he was not going to bow to the king. He decided that, king, whatever you do, I'm not going to bow. And because I'm not going to bow, you have to do with me what you have to do with me. So the king called Haman. Now Haman was the designated killer. He wasn't to kill anybody, and don't think about it. You've got to know that Haman was called in, and he was called in not only to kill Mordecai, but he wanted to destroy the children of Israel. But what I like about this passage is when God gets ready to bless you, the killers will show up. Young folks call them haters, but I don't want to use that word today. The killers will show up. When God begins to elevate you, the killers will show up. They'll try to kill your dreams and tell you what you can't do, and tell you what you can't get, and tell you how far you can't go, and tell you what you can't accomplish, and tell you where you can't live, and tell you where you can't drive. But what you don't understand is God has brought you too far for you to listen to anybody else but God. And God was setting you up a long time ago so that He can elevate you from where you're going right now. You thought you caught hell, you thought you were in trouble, but it was really just a setup of God to open a door for you. So now we understand that when God begins to work in us, He lets the enemy come closer to us. God has a set time for us to be blessed. And because God has a set time for us to be blessed, you've got to not step out of your time. See, because if you step out of your time, imagine if you had married the first person who asked you to get married. Y'all had a flashback right here. He came along. Hey, boo, what's up? And he hollered at you. And you like what you saw on the outside. It's just a small piece of leather well put together. But crazy as a roll is on the inside. Imagine if you had gone after the first woman, brothers, who had kind of switched past you once. Hips, lips, and fingertips, but shallow on the inside. You could ring a church bell and it'll echo tops to bottom. She's so shallow. You got to learn that there's some things that no is really a blessing. Some things you ought to know that if you just walk away, you would be stronger than you are trying to stay and tolerate God. Help me here. The problem is folks cannot appreciate being single. They cannot appreciate loving themselves. They cannot appreciate loving themselves. What they'll do is they'll take any broke down joker and allow them to pull their life down. I know we all saved and sanctified in here. So let me talk to the light. Hey, that light, you got to understand that because I like myself, because I love myself, I can go home by myself, I can lay in my own bed, I can give God my own praise. I don't need nobody to validate me, because when my time comes, God is going to make a way just for you. And you have to learn how to love yourself instead of waiting for somebody else to tell you who you are. You ought to know that you are the righteousness of God. Now, begins to think. Now you have a despondent monarch. I didn't really plan to do this today. Vashti was out of control. Esther now becomes queen, and she discovers treachery in the king's house. Haman is appointed. Mordecai won't bow. Haman wants to kill everybody. So now the plot thickens because God pulls out his secret weapon. And the secret weapon was laying in the bed with the king. God will allow you to have somebody near you that will tell you the truth. Even though you don't like it, they'll tell you the truth. And you turn around and love them in spite of God. Y'all in here today. There's some of us in here today, we lost a best friend because she told you that joker you was fooling with wasn't no good. And you chose him The problem is we don't like the truth. We don't. We don't like